So you all know we have great relationships with the other trade organizations in the industry, and a large portion of the MLSs are the ones who carried the water for RESO over the years to get us to where we are today. So we're excited to have Council of MLS here with us today, and Denee Evans to give us an update.
Thank you. Hello. Denee Evans is CEO of CMLS. So great to see all of your faces. Are you guys excited to be here and hang out with each other and talk data standards and MLS and fun stuff? Just in case those of you who don't know, CMLS is the National Trade Association for MLSs. We have just over 200, I think we're at 219 MLSs, and I'm ahead of myself. 219 MLSs, about 70 business partners, and we love talking about MLS stuff. So who is CMLS? I love these events because this is where the magic happens, and that's what I was so sad about over the last 18 months. One of the things is everyone coming together and sharing all of their knowledge. So sometimes you're sharing, sometimes you're learning, but when we have these opportunities to foster conversations, growth, innovation, listen to Tim, I call it the mad scientist presentations about what the future could be. Love hearing those. So thank you so much for Sam having us and letting us talk a little bit about what we're working on. If I can figure out, there we go. So the really cool stuff going on, as I said, the learning, the sharing, and working together. I think the next section here about where we come together in groups is the really cool stuff. CMLS, our current stuff, there is 2 national policies that we have submitted. We got some work groups together. It came out of the broker pain point session, which is tomorrow, that we've been working on for quite some time, trying to get tons of feedback. I'm calling it community-based policy making. So we have data, surveys, feedback, input, so many people working on these to provide and make sure that we've got as many eyes on it as possible. We're excited about that. We appreciate the partnership with NAR as well and working with us to help just really get as much input as we can from the community to foster innovation, but ensure that we're doing the gold star standard of MLS data. Next, we have our best practices. I'm excited to share. We've been trying to work on this one, but we didn't quite get to it as soon as I was hoping, but we will be refreshing the best practice documents and expanding on them over the next year. So be on the lookout for that, and I'm certain we're going to be coming to you and asking you to share some of yours, because that is the magic of the community that is MLS. Our MLS Matters, if you haven't participated in those, please do. They're amazing. They're one of my favorite things that we have been able to do when not seeing each other in person. Coming together, different topics where we will do Zoom calls, facilitators, and you guys just to get to openly ask questions, share information, and work to make MLS better. So please, and if anybody's interested in facilitating those, I love having new voices there. And our CMLX certification, we do have that training for both volunteers. It's great. I've had such good feedback on that. There's 1, 2, and then I'm excited to share we will be reopening CMLX 3 this year for the next class. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be after the beginning of the year. And the value of the multiple listing service. If anybody has read any headlines or recently, I think the time to share the value of the multiple listing service, the story, is right now. Articulating what is the value to the consumer, especially, I think is so important. It keeps so many people going after it, not fully understanding the benefit. So I want to make sure if you go to, I always have to look up multiplelistingservice.org. That is the consumer side. If you haven't been there, please go there and see it. There's videos. It's just really great work. 1000 Watt helped us do that. But we've also, on the other side of it, you have white labeled things that you can put your own information on. So if you go to cmlsintheknow.com, there's things there you can use in your own markets. Make it your own campaign. Put your own name on it. We've got brokers using it, vendors using it, and hopefully MLSs will continue to utilize that as well. And gosh, I can't figure out this clicker here. There we go. But this one I'm really excited about. This just released the week of CMLS, the Fair Housing Resource Guide. It, again, work groups coming together, getting input. This group, who was here on the work group? I think I have a couple of people. Monica, Jim, Wes. It was just this group put in tons. We got feedback from lots of the industry. This is a fair housing best practice. I highly recommend that you go through it. There are so many resources in here for you to use, and have the conversations. What I'm most excited about this is, as an industry, we really have an opportunity to lead in this area. We have an opportunity to really push this forward and do the right thing. And I will use the quote from one of the sessions at CMLS, Jim, who was the chair of it, the panel that we had. He said, if you are engaging in this and the conversations feel easy and smooth, you're probably not doing it right. So let's dig in, let's have the hard conversations, and let's lead as an industry on how to ensure fair housing. Next is the policy I mentioned. I believe it's going to be reviewed tomorrow during the pain point section. Talk a little bit more, dig into it, but I just wanted to talk about the strategy. CMLS has put helping to advance and promote national MLS policy as one of its top priorities. And that is not just me and the staff or the board of directors sitting in a room coming up. That is engaging all of you. That is engaging the broker community, the vendor community, to figure out how do we help move the industry forward by promoting policies that will foster innovation while ensuring that gold star standard. So I think as we're continually learning the process and how to best do it, we're learning along the way, but I think we're getting to some great stuff. So if I have some people who are in the data access concepts work group, I think we've got Jeff, you're on that. Anybody else who's on that, your decision and review groups, you guys have been amazing. So thank you for your time and effort to help put those forward. But it really boils down to, how do we help power the professional to meet the needs of the consumer? And those wants and needs of the consumers are evolving, and how do we best do that? So thank you all for that. This is a little snapshot of the 2 policies we put forward. The good news is we're also starting work on the implementation guide for these, because if we have 500 MLSs, roll it out 500 different ways, I don't know that that's great. So the work group is coming back together after seeing what the final product out of the emerging issues group. So we're going to start work on the implementation guide so that you guys do have a resource similar to what we did in with clear cooperation, as well as the PDAP policy, the participant data access policy. So be on the lookout for that, or know that CMLS is here to help support you, but we're putting that together with input from all of you and finding out what you need. And quick shout out, we have our newest team member at CMLS, TJ, if you'll stand up, say hello. Hopefully if several of you have met TJ, he is our new director of programs at CMLS. I'm super excited. One, because he worked at an MLS before, so I like to say MLS at heart, but he also recently was at Redfin, so he's also bringing that broker perspective to the table, where I think we can get a really nice balance of moving things forward. So welcome, TJ. If you have any policy questions, please see TJ. He's really good at this stuff. And then next, save the date. So we have CMLS 2022. We are on track to be in Indianapolis at the JW Marriott. Very excited. Partnering, our host will be Mybor. And I think that I have a door prize here. Wow, that's bigger than it looked on the website. It is a projector, Bluetooth projector. If any of you have kids, like, this is really cool for backyard movies. You can use it in the office. And I think there is a list here that I get to pick from. And then you guys can have Bloody Marys. Does that sound like a good deal? Actually, I was going to say the first person who can show me their phone that they already have the save the date in there for CMLS can win. Anyone? Anyone? Okay. All right. We have Caitlin Webb. Is Caitlin in here? All right. Oh, it's right behind me.